Welcome to the Time Management Podcast with me, your host, Abigail Barnes. I'm a productivity coach, global speaker, time management author, and award-winning entrepreneur on a mission to share the 888 formula with the world and to remind you that it's your time. Leave it to me to bring you new time management tips, tricks, tools, and strategies, to introduce you to guests, research, and case studies from around the world, and to give you a simple 5-step process you can follow to uplevel your productivity, achieve your goals, and create a life that exceeds your wildest dreams. I'm so excited that you're here, so let's get started. Welcome to the show. It's you and me, and today we're talking about resetting your success story in 2025, part 2. I'm so excited that we get to spend this time together today. There has never been a better time to reset your success story, to draw a line in the sand and to decide that even though ... it is your time. This week on the Time Management Podcast, I'll be sharing 5 questions that you can ask yourself if you are ready to reset your success story in 2025, as well as talking about what could stop you and how knowing your human design can help you. This episode is for you if you're flip-flopping between your new goals and your old habits. This episode is also for you if you're struggling to identify something to keep you motivated and excited. And it's definitely for you if you're ready to be here now, to give up looking back and to step into your new chapter. Let's just dive straight in and talk about that elephant in the room. Depending on when you're listening to this episode, we are currently in a phase of new year, new you. Whether you subscribe to that, whether January is the new year to you, whether February is the new year to you, whether March is the new year to you, whether you don't even care about new year. It is very, very helpful when the collective story is an uplifting one, is about possibility, and large numbers of people are buying into possibility. As we've talked about over many previous episodes and brought guests on, everything is energy. It is becoming more and more apparent how interconnected the energy of everything is. Our thoughts creating our reality, our life experience, the things we're manifesting, the things we're not manifesting. And that being said, when a whole planet of people, or a large percentage of the people on that planet, subscribe to the belief that it is a new beginning, a new chapter, that energy, that uplifting high vibration energy, is a wave that it is useful for us all to get on. So I would recommend that whether, as I've said, you subscribe to New Year, New You, whatever terminology you use, let's just park that for 1 minute and let's just recognize that a large number of people buying into possibility and change is going to be helpful for you. When it stops being helpful is the point where this change becomes the shame conversation. This change becomes the should conversation. So let's recognize where the energy is helping and then where the energy is reinforcing the things that have been getting you, me, us, the same life experience, the Groundhog Day, over and over and over again. The point where change becomes shame and should is the point where we say, no, enough is enough. I've told this story before, but it's worth repeating. It's not my story. It's called The Autobiography, and it's a poem by Portia, and it goes like this. Chapter 1 of my life. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It's not my fault. And it takes me forever to find a way out. Chapter 2. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in this sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it, but I fall in it again. I can't believe that I'm in the same place. It isn't my fault, but it still takes me a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in this sidewalk. I see it there, but I still fall in because it's a habit. My eyes are open. I know where I am, and it is my fault. So I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk, but I walk around it. Chapter 5. I walk down a different street. Let today be the day that you walk down a different street, knowing that it's your time. In episode 64 of the podcast, we were talking about resetting your success story, part 1. This was where you were reflecting on 2024 so that you could close the book on your year and start 2025 with this new energy. Today, let's dive into part 2. And I also want to explain what we mean when we talk about reset. It is an acronym which stands for review, evaluate, strategize, execute, and track. 5 steps. In episode 64, we reviewed and we evaluated what these actions had been getting you and how this made you feel. So now it's time to get to work. In this episode, we're talking all about strategy and planning, because a goal without a plan is just a wish, said Antoine de Saint-Exupéry in his book, The Little Prince. Here are the 5 questions for this week's episode. Question 1, what do you want to achieve in 2025? Dare to dream. What would you want to achieve if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you want to achieve if you knew other people would support you? What would you want to achieve if you had the possibility, the probability that you absolutely would achieve it? And you can't have what you don't believe is possible. Question number 2, why do you want to achieve it? This is all about motivation. What do you want to happen because of the goal that you've set? So what is motivating you towards achieving this goal? Is it the success? Is it the life? Is it the relationship? Is it the promotion? Is it the new job? Is it the side hustle? Why do you want to achieve it? What do you believe achieving it is going to give you, to bring you? What's motivating you? Question number 3, when do you want to have achieved things by? AKA, what is happening in your life, your career, your business, your relationships right now as a result of not having these things? What can't you do right now? And what can you do right now as a result of the current situation that you're in? So when do you want to achieve these things by? Question number 4, who do you need help from? We've talked in the past about procrastination, and one of the things that I've observed is that people are not necessarily procrastinating because they're a procrastinator. They're procrastinating because they need help with something, help with the next step. Maybe it's information, maybe it's a process, maybe it's a system, maybe they don't know how to use something, how to do something. So who would you be needing help from right now? What do you need to have answers to? What questions do you have? Write them down. Whatever comes up for you right now, don't second guess yourself. Write it down. Question number 5. This is where the rubber hits the road. How would you actually break your goals down into daily steps that you would take towards making your dreams your reality? If you're loving this conversation and this exercise, then you'll definitely want to join me for our first webinar of 2025, how to reset your success story in 2025. It will be recorded live on the 24th of January. There are 3 different times it will be going out at. So hopefully you'll be able to join one of them. If not, you will be able to sign up and get the replay for it, because science has shown that people who have written goals are 42% more likely to achieve them. So on this webinar training, we are going to be talking about 3 key things that will help you in achieving these goals. We're going to cover 10 limiting beliefs that are helping and hindering you. We are going to talk about the neuroscience, the adaptability of your brain and your body. We are going to talk about the third thing in this webinar, quantum physics. We are going to look at the wave-particle duality and the observer effect. And then we're going to wrap it up by using this theory to reset your success story in 2025. If you want to join that free webinar, as always, the links are in the show notes. If you have any questions, reach out, and please, please, please share it with others, as we would love to see as many people as possible resetting their success story in 2025. Because fundamentally, I've said this before, I'll say this again, you get what you believe. So why not change what you're asking for? Why not change what you believe? Law of Attraction 101, like energy attracts like energy. We are always manifesting all the time. The things we have in our life right now, we have manifested. And perhaps they are things that we don't want, which means, first of all, we can manifest. Second of all, it's time to get clear. Third of all, it's time to work out what is stopping us, what's in the way, what's blocking our success story from becoming our reality. And to wrap this episode up today, how could understanding more about your human design help you to reset your results in 2025? How many times do you find yourself responding to things that maybe you don't feel ready to respond to because somebody needs an answer right now? How many times do you find yourself giving unsolicited advice to people who are not ready to receive it? How many times do you find yourself sharing what you know to be the truth, but the people you're sharing it with are just not ready for that information? This is what knowing more about your strategy can help you with. Being a generator, my strategy is to wait to respond. If you're new around here or catching up, check out episode 24, What is Human Design and How Can It Save You Time? And then check out episode 65, Create More Success in 2025 Using Your Human Design. They are a part 1 and a part 2 with our special guest expert, Lauren Kelly. For the benefit of the conversation today, let's focus on strategy and authority. So there are 5 different strategies which correlate to the 5 different human design types. We've got the manifestors, the generators, the manifesting generators, the projectors, and the reflectors. So a manifestor's strategy is to inform before acting. Manifestors are initiators with a powerful energy that can start new things. By informing others with their actions beforehand, they can minimize the resistance and create a smoother interaction. A manifestor is somebody who sees things in a totally different way to the rest of the world. It's so obvious to them, but not to the rest of the world. So if they are not informing before they are acting, it can really upset the equilibrium of a group, of a team, because it is a new concept. Generators, their strategy is to wait to respond. Generators have a magnetic energy that attracts opportunities. Instead of initiating actions, they are designed to wait for things to come to them and respond based on their gut feelings. As a generator myself, when I learned more about this, I found it so beneficial, so life-affirming, as this was how I had been acting, but I had thought that it wasn't normal as other people acted in different ways. And one of the things that you will learn with human design is that it helps you to recognize your own natural style, your own blueprint, and it also helps you to identify where you've picked things up from other people, from society, from the world at large. If you're a manifesting generator, you're a combination of both of the previous aspects, the manifester and the generator. And so your strategy is to wait to respond and to inform, and you should wait for something to respond to, and upon acting, inform others before you proceed. Then if you're a projector, their strategy is to wait to be invited. Projectors are natural guides, they're advisors. They thrive when recognized and invited to share their insights, ensuring that their guidance is received by those who value it. Projectors who give their thoughts without waiting to be invited, again, similarly to the manifestors, it can sometimes go wrong, because what you can see, other people can't see. What you can see is so obvious to you that you have to get this message out straight away. However, if you seek first to understand, then be understood, as Stephen Covey, one of his habits of highly effective people, then your knowledge and information will be received in the most transformational way. If you're a reflector, your strategy is to wait to be invited and to initiate, because reflectors have a very unique ability to mirror their environment, and they should wait for invitations and initiations from others, because this will allow them to share their wisdom with those who appreciate their unique perspective. Reflectors make up 1% of the human design types on the planet. If you meet a reflector, they are few and far between. Then we've got your authority. So your authority is how you make decisions, from which part of your body, where in you just automatically knows the answers. This is your authentic decision making. This is unique to you, and there are 7 different ways that you can do this. So we've got the emotional authority, also known as the solar plexus. Individuals with this authority are advised to wait through their emotional wave to achieve clarity before making decisions. This ensures that the choices are not based on temporary feelings. I am an emotional authority. This makes a lot of sense to me. Then we've got the sacral authority. This is found in generators and manifesting generators. This authority relies on gut responses. These decisions should be made based off of an immediate physical reaction, such as a sense of excitement or lack thereof. Then we've got the splenic authority. This presents mostly in manifestors and projectors. Their authority is dependent on their intuitive insights. So these are decisions that can be made in the moment, guided by just a deep sense of knowing, an instinct, if you like. Next, we have the ego authority. This is associated with the heart center. Individuals with this authority make decisions based on their willpower and their desires, focusing on what they truly want. The self-projected authority is found in some projectors. This authority involves speaking decisions out loud to hear the truth and relying on this self-expression to gain clarity. Next, we've got the mental environmental authority. This is present in individuals with undefined inner authorities. They are advised to discuss decisions with trusted individuals and consider the environment to gain clarity. Then we've got the lunar authority, which is unique to reflectors. This authority requires them to wait a lunar cycle, or approximately 28 days, before making significant decisions. And if you're ready for 2025 to be the year that everything changes, then save the date for our brand new 8-week group program, Reset Your Success Story 2025. Class starts on the 4th of February. This program will be half theory, half implementation and action, because as I've been saying on the podcast ad infinitum, nothing changes until you take an action. Information without application isn't a flex. It's just knowledge. It's not power. This program is going to combine 4 weeks of theory with 4 weeks of action taking, supported by a group with accountability. So for the first 4 weeks, you are going to session 1, Dare to Dream. Session 2, do a life review masterclass. Session 3 is going to be all about goal setting, and session 4 is going to be all about goal mapping. I'm going to be bringing content that I have never talked about or delivered before from my 10-year career in finance, where I worked on some big global projects with huge deliverables and big teams. We are going to take some of that project management theory and implement it into this program. And then for 25 days, there is going to be a group sprint that will start on the 3rd of March. This is where the action taking is absolutely going to change your life. You're going to focus on 2 goals for those 25 days and discover what happens when you consistently take action on a daily basis, get into momentum, and build on it, build on it, build on it, build on it. This brand new program is building on content that we have been teaching and delivering to groups from around the world since 2020. And this additional 30 days of pre-work, the masterclass training before the actual sprint, is absolutely brand new. This is going to supercharge people's results to help them to reset their success story and make 2025 their best year ever. The homework for this week is to sign up for the How to Reset Your Success Story in 2025 live free webinar on the 24th of January. The second piece of homework is to buy a copy of Time Management for Entrepreneurs and Professionals or the workbook and use the special discount code in the show notes to get a new year discount and to get back on top of your time management. Your time is your greatest asset. Time buys money, money buys time. Thirdly, reach out if you would like the discount code to be applied to the ebook, because that is something that we can email over to you. And then finally, get ready for Reset Your Success Story in 2025, our brand new 8-week program. I'm so excited that we got to have this conversation this week and that we are riding this new year energy, this wave, whatever we believe, we are taking advantage of positive energy that is currently rising. Other links to know about in the show notes. If you would like to work with me this year, then fill in the new inquiry form below and we'll reach out for a conversation. To get emails from me, subscribe to the podcast email updates, because that is where you will be able to get notified about things like discount codes and early birds and early access to all the things. And if there's any questions that you've got or things that you would like me to talk about on future episodes, then you can always email us. And until next time, my friend, stay safe, stay well, and remember, it is your time. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you loved what you heard, be sure to let me know by leaving a review so I can keep the good stuff coming. Come and say hi on Instagram at Success by Design Training, or visit my website successbydesigntraining.com, or connect with me on LinkedIn. Just search Abigail Barnes. Until next time, don't forget, you are amazing and it's your time.